Hello students of class 7th, myself Chigna Patel from Saraswat International Academy. Today I am going to teach you Social Science, chapter number 1, Two Big States, part 1. Kanauj, Harshvardhan, 606 to 647 CE. King Harshvardhan was born in 606 CE. After his father's death, Harshvardhan's elder brother Rajyavardhan ascended the throne of Thaneshwar. After Rajyavardhan's assassination, Harshvardhan, his younger brother, succeeded him. Assassination means murder a political or religious leader. He took control of Thaneshwar on the advice of the leaders of state. Harshvardhan was only 16 years old when he was crowned. Harshvardhan firstly decided to liberate his sister Rajyashree after he was crowned the king. Liberate means set free. He accomplished this task of liberating his sister in Vindhya forest, who was going to get Sati with the help of a Buddhist saint, Divakar, and some tribal women. Accomplished means highly trained or skilled. Harsha took over the charge of Kanauj, Uttar Pradesh, the kingdom of Harshvardhan's sister, as there was no king in Kanauj. He defeated Devgupta, the king of Malwa. He also gained victory over Saurashtra. He tactfully developed friendly relations with Bhaskarvarman, the king of Kamrup in Assam, with a motive to attack and defeat the king of God dynasty Shashank. Tactfully. Tactfully means sensitivity and skill in dealing with other people. He defeated Shashank with a huge army and conquered a major part of his kingdom. However, he could not defeat the emperor of South India, Pulkeshi II. The river Narmada was marked as the southern boundary of Harshvardhan's empire. Emperor Harshvardhana fought constantly for 7 years. He transformed his very small kingdom of Thaneshwar into a vast empire. Harshvardhan's reign and administration. Harshvardhan used to look after the entire administration of his kingdom on his own. He himself used to supervise his entire kingdom and paid attention to each aspect. Aspect means a particular part or feature of something. He had divided his daily routine into 3 parts. The first part of the day was kept for administration. The other 2 were set for public welfare and religious activities. Harshvardhan was extremely occupied the entire day and therefore faced shortage of time. He sincerely carried out his responsibilities. He was so engaged in his daily activities that he even skipped his meals at times. Imprints left by Harshvardhan. Harshvardhan has built many rest houses, stepwells, lakes, mutts, and viharas. He had prohibited Jeev Himsa, killing lives. He used to call a religious meeting called Dharma Sabha every year. He also arranged a huge Dharma Parishad, religious conference, and donation conference at Prayag every 5 years. He kept his treasury open for donations and continued donating until his own ornaments from the treasury were emptied. The court of Harshvardhan was illuminated with the presence of Banbhat, a great literary person in Sanskrit and a great poet. Illuminated means help to explain something. His famous works like Harshcharit and Kadambari are considered to be unique and famous in Sanskrit literature. Students, now there is some facts to know. What is Harshcharit? Harshcharit is the first historical biography in Sanskrit. It illustrates the powerful character of Emperor Harshvardhana. We can learn many facts about Harshvardhan and his time through this biography. King Harshvardhan himself was also a lover of literature. He had compiled 3 dramas, namely Nagananda, Ratnavali, and Priyadarshika. Compiled means produce a book, record, etc. by bringing together material from different sources. One of these 3 dramas was a religious one, while the other 2 were comedies. Emperor Harshvardhan's Empire, Nalanda University. Nowadays, we find many instruments and facilities in schools. It is possible that these instruments or facilities might have been purchased or acquired by donation. These donors or donating organizations help the school which cannot afford modern instruments and facilities. Similar things happened during the Harsha's reign. Harshvardhan fulfilled all the requirements of Nalanda Vidyapit and Acharya Shilbhadra. The great chemist named Acharya Nagarjuna, who developed the medical use of ashes of iron, somal, white arsenic, and mercury, studied here. Harshvardhan donated about 100 villages for the maintenance of the Vidyapit. Nalanda Vidyapit was very famous in the world. Life of the people. During the period of Harshvardhan, cities and villages were fortified. The main gate of the fort was very huge. Human society was divided into 4 classes. Varna in the ancient time: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Brahmins. Brahmins were considered to be the highest rank. Shudras were considered to be the lowest rank. The tradition of Parda system and intercaste marriages were not prevalent at that time, but the practice of sati system, child marriage, and polygamy had started. People use milk and milk products apart from wheat, rice, fruits, and vegetables. People used to dress in neat and white colored clothes. Men wore dhotis and women wore sari. They wore ornaments like flower garlands, toe ring called ved, finger rings, bangles, necklace. During Harshvardhan's reign, people played games like chopat, chess, and Sugathabaji. Nuts, that is, rope dance, and snake charmers wandered from village to village entertaining people. Farming and animal husbandry was the main occupation of the people during that time. Land revenue was only one-sixth of the production. Both local and national businesses were headed by Vaishyas. A highway was constructed from Patliputra to Bhrugu, Kutch, present-day Bharuch, for the purpose of business and transportation between states. Ornaments, statues, ivory, timber, furniture were exported during those days. Gold and silver coins were used as currency. Business with foreign countries led to the flow of gold from Rome to India. India became prosperous as business was in her favor. There were Hindus, Jains, and Buddhists in Harshvardhan's kingdom. Harshvardhan believed in Sarva Dharma Sambhav, which means all religions are equal. So, all of them lived unitedly and respected one another's religion. We must follow the ideals of secularism so that we can coexist peacefully. Hunsang 629 CE to 645 CE. Hunsang visited India during Harshvardhan's reign. He lived in India for 5 years to study Buddha Dharma. He attended the 6th religious conference at Prayag, which was organized by Harshvardhan. Hunsang stayed in India for 15 years, during which he traveled widely and wandered in different parts of India. He visited Gandhar, Takshashila, Kashmir, Mathura, Haridwar, Kanauj, Prayag, Patliputra, Kalinga, Kanchipur, Bharuch, Ujjain, and Gurjar in India. Hunsang studied and described the social, political, and religious system of Harshvardhan's kingdom. He recorded that there were 100 Buddhist mutts at that time. The lifestyle of people was simple, pure, well mannered, and depended on truth and justice. Fraudsters, cheaters, and liars were considered guilty. Fraudsters means a person who commits fraud. In 645 AD, Huan Sang returned to China from Middle Asia. He took many books, ruins, and statues along with him. Here we end with our part 1. Thank you, students.